stare won't ever let me go. I'm here only 'cause I'm aware with you is better than all alone. Oh, 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 say what you're dying to say. Oh, oh, tonight we're stars, but we'll fade away. Go on and light me up. Oh, go on and light me up while we're golden. Come on and light me up. Oh, come on and light me up before we come down. Stars will always come down. So before we come down, down, down. Go on and light me up. Oh, go on and light me up while we're golden. Come on and light me up. Oh, come on and light me up before we come down. Between now until we go home. Oh, 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 say what you're dying to say. No, oh, oh, tonight we're stars, but we'll fade away. Oh, go on and light me up. Oh, go on and light me up while we're golden. Come on and light me up. Oh, come on and light me up before we come down. Stars will always come down. So before we come down, down, down. Stars will always come down. Go on and light me up. Oh.
Hello everybody, welcome into some FEG-PC Friday Night Money Racing action here live from Talladega Superspeedway on Ghost Racing Network. Thank you for being here. Let's get right down to it. Trackside, get things started off with your race info here tonight. Everybody knows where we're at. The track that we normally head to, Talladega Superspeedway, coming in at over 2.65 miles in length. Weather outside, 78 degrees Fahrenheit, 55% humidity. Clear skies to start this thing off, and winds at 2 miles an hour. Not going to affect these drivers at all. Track temp, on the other hand, certainly could play a role, coming in at over 100 degrees. Going to make the grip a little bit harder for everybody to contend with here tonight. It's going to be the Talladega 35 here, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. 80% fuel. Everybody does have one fast pair as always, and it is, of course, fixed setups. Those are the two things to kind of keep an eye on. Now, getting into your starting grid, this is where things get a little bit interesting. The pole sitter, he's got a lot of momentum. That's Sean Hill. Got the win last night in PGR's Intimidator Super Speedway Series. We'll see what he can do. He starts alongside his ex-teammate, Ken McCall Jr. in second. How about Matthew Baker, my co-host on Thursdays? He starts third with Cody Nagel's teammate to his outside in fourth. David Sheets in fifth. It's going to be Ron Morris Jr. in sixth. Trevor Oswornoff in seventh. It's going to be Cody Reed in eighth. John Mullahan and Jeff Merck make up row 5, followed by Daniel Eberhardt and William Rice in row 6. Moving right on back down the field, 13th place tonight is going to be Dustin Carruthers. Matt Martin starts 14th. How about Jeremy Paris in 15th with Alejandro Montes de Dioca, I believe I said his last name right, starting in 16th. Michael Daves and Aubrey Thompson make up row 9. Brian Kaiser and Mark Jenkins round out your top 20. John Darnell III starts in 21st. Dylan Jones 22nd. Ross Westmoreland in 23rd. Chad Ross 24th. It's going to be Christopher McCall in 25th. Joey Allen to his outside in 26th. Ambrose Kniebel for Blind Squirrel Racing starts 27th. He has Andrew Clark to his outside in 28th. And how about it? 30 truck field. The last row is going to be Mark Vondell and Thomas Parker in the 51. Big field tonight, but a very short race. Only those 35 laps. These guys are going to be going at it right from the top of the green. The action is going to be fast. It's going to be nonstop. We're going to see 3, maybe 4 wide racing. However, with this bigger field here tonight, I think the 3 wide rule very well might be in play. Only based off top 4 payout here initially. I'm not sure if it was based off of 30 guys or not. And if it was only based off of 30, payouts might be a little bit higher than what they said. But if nothing else, it looks like they are going to at least meet the criteria. And that, yep, sure enough, it's going to be exact. So first place tonight going to be going home with $300 in their pocket. Second is going to go to 100, third $100, and fourth place also leaving with $100. Entry fee was 23, so pretty good profit margins for anybody finishing in those top 4s. But hey, if you're on one of these big teams such as NBG and you can get 3, maybe all 4 of your teammates in this top 4, you'll be going home with a lot of money tonight. We'll see what happens. All right, here we go. Pace car takes the hard left turn down into pit road. Sean Hill, Ken McCall Jr., row 1. The ex-teammates, will they get into it early? David Sheets, watch for the 06. Matthew Baker, Cody Nagels, 2 teammates on row 2. Rolling into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is in the air. Talladega, we're racing. Good even start here. Sean Hill on the inside, Ken McCall Jr. on the outside. The big momentum's not really going to start, though, until the backstretch. Keep an eye on that 3 truck of Ken McCall Jr. A lot of guys we see, they like to kind of stay in the outside line. Don't think that's going to be the case here tonight. At least not for some of the McCall Motorsports group. I think if Ken was to get clear, he would drop down low. But Sean Hill surprisingly jumped up to the top already. He's going to open it up to his teammate Matthew Baker. 2x2 down the backstretch, and we're going to stay even here on lap 1. This is a little strategy. We've seen this before from NBG. If you can block up both lanes, you might as well. It's going to hurt your chances in the long run. Daniel Eberhardt, we'll see what he can do in the 90 truck. We know he likes to be aggressive. He has his teammate Dylan Jones in here tonight. But again, I don't think anybody can go 3 wide for these first 2 laps. I think everybody's just trying to get settled in, going to get comfortable. And again, we're still going to have at least 1 pit stop. 80% fuel, these guys cannot make it all the way, but they are indeed only going to have 1 scheduled green flag pit stop. But lap 1 is going to be a drag race at the line. It goes to Sean Hill in the 77. The 03 of Ken McCall Jr. still pushing, but everybody's still sticking half a car length off or so. The only 2 rows really pushing are those front 2. After that, everybody's staying really patient with each other. They don't want to do anything too crazy or get themselves in trouble in any way. But as we look back further towards the back of the pack here, looks like the last truck in line right now is going to be Andrew Clark in the 44. He's looking to move up. He's going to have to get some help. Chad Ross is going to go ahead and give him that help. Thomas Parker in the 51 now falls back at extra position. Mark Vondell, Chad Ross sitting back here behind the top 25 and getting into your top 20. How about Brian Kaiser, one of the Team 3 drivers? Mark Jenkins, good to see him back out here. And Aubrey Thompson rocking what is easily going to be one of my favorite paint schemes out here tonight. Look at that beautiful looking Blind Squirrel 38 truck. Got the Ghost Racing Network logo on the back. We appreciate the shout outs. Back up front though, Matthew Baker still leading the inside. Sean Hill still on the outside. Now we're going to see the 3rd lane get formed up. Here comes Daniel Eberhardt. He's going to try to push Jeff Merck all the way to the front. Cody Nagel sees that, jumps in front of his NBG Motorsports teammate. And just like that, as we go 3 wide, David Sheets, he doesn't like any part of what he's seeing, man. Ken McCall Jr. splits the middle. We almost went 4 wide for just a second. These guys still trying to get things sorted out. My goodness, 0 to 100 real quick right there. Jeff Merck is going to get the bad end of the stick, though. He's going to have to fall back to at least 4th position. Finds himself a spot in line just behind Daniel Eberhardt. Now we know the 90 kind of likes to go by the motto, well, not really the motto, kind of the truth of if you want to win one of these things, you got to be aggressive right from the go, and we're certainly seeing that right now with Daniel Eberhardt. But I really liked what I saw there from Ken McCall Jr. trying to throw his weight around a little bit early. Working out good. Now I think some of these guys might have a side pot going on here tonight. Not sure who all is in it. But you got to assume some of those front runners such as Ken McCall Jr., Cody Nagels, maybe even Sean Hill, all guys trying to go for that extra cash, or if they don't get the win and they still finish the highest up in that side pot battle, they would still indeed get the cash. But we saw the 3rd lane really start to look good there for a quarter of a lap or so. Then after things got a little wild, it kind of died out. We got a couple guys trying to get it going again. Looks like Christopher McCall on the outside. He's trying to push the 22 of Alejandro Mendes Diaca back to the front. And he quickly is going to fail on that move. Didn't like it. Jumps back a couple positions, but there's Jeff Merck and Daniel Eberhardt. This time they're going to switch positions. Looks like Merck is going to be pushing Eberhardt. Only 2 trucks. They're going to need a little bit more help. I'm surprised to see these guys getting this racy this early. As we complete lap 5 of 35, Sean Hill has currently led the most laps. Rocking the outside. How about NBG Motorsports? 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 7th right now. And if Jeff Merck could get up there, they very well have a chance at sweeping. In fact, I would say more than just a chance. They're looking really good at a shot to maybe sweep all 4 positions here tonight in terms of that money. Still got a long ways to go, though. Keeping an eye on John Mullihan, too, as you see him tuck out just a little bit, maybe trying to get a little fresh air to the front right. Get the oil temps cooled down just a little bit. Interesting enough, these trucks, you know, doesn't, maybe not, oh man, hold that thought for just a second. Sean Hill with a really dicey move, thought about coming back down. It's not going to be there. Now it's a big check up on the inside line. Surely this helps the middle and top. Daniel Eberhardt, Jeff Merck, and now they do have some help. That is going to be the 11 of Matt Martin, one of the newer guys in here. He's picking a couple really good and talented guys to try to make it work with the 23. Keep an eye a little bit further back. We got to see what some of these guys are trying to play out. Everybody looking really aggressive. Ambrose Knievel, though, on the bottom. And just behind him, this is where that line of everybody that's kind of playing the patient strategy. I think a lot of people think there is going to be a wreck at least at some point through this race. And all it takes is one caution from maybe not quite yet, but at a certain point here, if we get a caution, I would say 12 laps in or so, then everybody's going to come down to the pit, and they will be good to go on fuel the rest of the way. We got a couple trucks blinking, and it looks like Jeff Merck and Daniel Eberhardt are going to tuck back down the line. That's going to put the 23 in the 1 truck as the new leaders of that 3rd lane. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to find anything this time. They're going to fall back a couple positions, and they're going to have to find a way to jump back in line. I believe the 1 truck looks like, is that Mr. Ron Morris Jr.? He might be rocking a new paint scheme here tonight. Sure enough, he is. Not sure if my trading paint's glitched out a little bit, but I like that paint scheme for Ron. He's got the new logo on there, solid black. Hey, shout out to Tuesday Night Thunder. Oh, we got a big wreck off turn 2. Here we go. How many is this one going to collect? We got 2 trucks involved. Look like the 89 and maybe the 77 of Sean Hill. The 89, Trevor Oswornoth got the worst of it. And he gets his Chevy Silverado back rolling, but not without some major damage to the front end. Don't see any smoke. That might very well be a fast pair. First caution here of the night on lap 7. Don't think this is going to take away the pit stop, although it might. It's going to be really, really close. We'll have to try to do some calculations here in just a moment. See what happens here. This is working our way through turns 1 and 2. These are teammates, by the way. Just keep that in mind. Sean Hill just gets pushed up a little bit. Ooh. Chaos ensues after that. John Mullihan almost got involved. A lot of guys dive into the bottom to miss this. Didn't really like the view there. Let's see if we can get a better look at it, maybe from the TV follow cam. So Sean Hill, his teammate Cody Nagels, looked like he was pushing him. I'm not sure if he made contact. He doesn't. No, he never makes contact. Sean just drifts up, and awkwardly enough, when he drifts up, it kind of looks like Cody maybe drifts down. Watch this 6 truck. Blue and white, light blue and white. Yeah, that's Sean Hill drifts up here, and kind of oddly enough, looks like Mullihan starts to drift up, kind of gets into Cody Nagels. That turns the 6 down into the 89, who comes back up the track. T-bones Sean Hill on the left side. There's the big contact for the 89. Ooh, man. The 11, I think that was Matt Martin. Really, really close. Not sure how much damage he got. And then everybody else scatters after that to try to miss it. And it looks like most of them all do. So somehow we only end this wreck with 1 or 2 trucks. Impressive to say the least. Couple more views of it. Let's take a ride on board here with the 89. He definitely went for the wildest of the rides, if you will, to say the least. Here we go. Oh, man, he was having such a good run, too. One of the guys out here that doesn't have a team. You hate to see it for anybody, but you always hate it just a little bit more to see it for one of the smaller guys that's out here trying to make it happen without the big team. Either way, pit stops, though, are underway. Looks like we are going to have the whole field come down to the pits. Again, we think it's going to be really close on the fuel at this point. On a full tank, just to call it safe, you'd probably say about 30 laps or so on fuel. And at 80%, it's going to be man, it's going to be really, really close. I would not be too surprised to see some of these guys coming in top off. And if we get a couple more cautions from this point on, I think we're going to see a lot of guys stay out, and that's going to help them the rest of the way. All right, so we got John Mullihan wins the race out of pit road. He's going to be starting on the front row alongside Matthew Baker, comes out second. Ken McCall Jr. 3rd, Daniel Eberhardt in 4th, Matt Martin 5th, Jeff Merkin 6th, Cody Reed 7th, William Rice 8th, Brian Kaiser in 9th, and Ron Morris Jr. in that good-looking new paint scheme is going to be rounding out your top 10. Some notable hitters just outside your top 10, though. How about Mark Jenkins 11th, Ambrose Kniebel in 12th, Dustin Carruthers in 13th, John Darnell in 14th, and how about Alejandro Matis Diaca currently sits in that 16th position. Red Nick says fixed or open. It is fixed setups here tonight. Makes it a more fair playing field, puts it more in the driver's hands. We had a lot more shout-outs here tonight. We'll see if we can get everybody. Logan T. I'll tell you what, if we have to pick a fan of the month, it's got to be Logan. I think he's hopped in here for more streams than I can count at this point. Watching these guys go at it each and every night. Robert Miller rooting on his favorite team. Shout-out to Ashton Potts, who we saw earlier. Evelyn Carruthers rooting on Dustin Carruthers. We'll see if we can get an interview from him later in this race, depending on how he's running. Heath Job. I think, Heath, I got to assume some of these paint schemes in here are yours. I know some of the good-looking ones sure are. Baker's mom, let's go. Get this thing going. BB, good to see you in here, BB. Hope you're having a good night. Heath Job says, sup, Austin. All right. Let's see if we can maybe pull in an interview here. I know it's early. I know we're still going to have a lot of things that are going to change, a lot of things that are going to get mixed up, but full field here tonight, so I think it's going to make some things exciting. Let's see if we can't get a word here with well, Matthew Baker, our co-host. You know what? Actually, we're going to stick to someone that is in the FEG Discord here tonight. And how about we give a quick shout out here to Matt Martin? He's been doing a heck of a job early. See if we can get a quick word from him. Hey Matt, this is all set up in the booth. You got a coffee?
What's going on?
Well, I'll tell you what's going on, man. I'm watching you and how fast you've been here early. Not sure if you necessarily got a team or guys that you're working with, but the first question I want to ask you is, that last wreck looked like you made a little contact. Did you get any damage from it?
Oh, I'm not sure. I can't see the front of my truck, but I hope not.
Well, second thing I want to ask you here is, you're staying out anyway. Hey, I'll tell you what, the front of the truck looks pretty clean. We got you up here on TV from the broadcast booth, but you know, we still got 25 laps to go. I know that doesn't sound like a long way, but a track over 2.5 miles, anything can happen. Are you going to try to stay at the front the rest of this race, or if things get hairy, do you maybe fall to the back for a little bit and try to come back to the front at the end?
We'll just see how it goes. That's all we can do. Win or lose, we're here to have fun.
All right, hey, that sounds like a good game plan. Thanks for getting a couple quick words with us, and we will see if you can get the deal done, get a top 3 here tonight.
Yep, talk to you here in a little bit.
All right, sounds good. Matt Martin. Short and sweet, just the way he likes to keep it. Evelyn Carruthers says he is in a different Discord. Let him know, Evelyn, next time you talk to him, to get him in here so we can get some interviews with him. John Mullahan up front. That's another confident guy, and confidence working well for him. Matthew Baker, there he is, the driver out of Magnolia, Texas. And he knows how to get the job done. He's going to have a very aggressive pusher, and Daniel Eberhardt lining up behind him. If this was late in the race, I would say don't count out Eberhardt thinking 3 wide, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it still for those first 2 laps, as the rule is still in effect. So it's going to be 25 laps to go when we go green this time. Usually crunch time, very, very borderline on whether or not we have another pit stop. Can't say for sure just yet, but what I can say for sure is these guys are going to be going full throttle. You got to go for it. Cody Reed, good looking paint scheme. Kind of reminds me of the bazooka gum, almost, if you will. Maybe not the bazooka, something similar. Either way, F&G Tool and Die. I believe Cody was in the college series. He's another guy to keep an eye out here. We'll see what he can do tonight. Pace car pulls off. Mullahan and Baker row 1 and working their way back to the Geico restart zone. We're getting ready to big bang bounce and boogie here again at Talladega. Green flag back in the air. Good start this time from John Mullahan. He's going to be clear to the top if he wants it. Going to continue to roll the bottom though with his teammate. Those top 2 trucks are tandemed up, but Jeff Merck, he's not able to get there, and in fact, he's going to drop in line, so this is going to cause Eberhardt and Baker to fall back a little bit. We'll see if there's some strategy going on here. Watch that 11 truck of Matt Martin. If he can somehow find a way to get clear of these 2, he might have a shot at going to the front. William Rice in the 21, he is the next closest truck for help on the outside line. You just got to wonder, though, how long can they hold this run? Working down into turn 3. Not going to see that 3 wide, but a little bit of a 6 truck breakaway. Just a little bit of a split here. Baker's still leading the outside. He's fading, but you can see the differing strategies depending on which team you're on here. McCall Motorsports, in this case, John Mullahan leading the way. He had a chance to jump high there. He thought better of it, thought he didn't want to do it, so he doesn't. Stays to the bottom, feels comfortable with the 0-3. His teammate pushing him. And I think if that was anybody on NBG, I think you're jumping to the top. The momentum has seemed to be there all night, but it's a little bit risky. I feel like your chances of being in a wreck are a little bit more involved, so we'll see which one works out better here at the end. Still 2x2. The 3-wide rule should be off this next time at the line. Looking back at some of the guys that I guess maybe fell back, I guess a little bit if you will here. One of them was being Cody Nagels. He was towards the front. He's going to have to find a way back to the front. And there's Sean Hill. He is also continuing to hang towards the back. Same deal for Trevor. But we know he had damage, so it makes sense in his case. I'm a little surprised, though, to see drivers such as Sean Hill and Cody not trying to make their way back to the front. That might be a sign that they're saving some fuel. They want to make sure that they're safe. And if they're safe, they're going to be good to go the rest of the way. It looks like Alan Carruthers says, yeah, I told him to get in the Discord. He said he's only going to the FEG Discord if he wins. All right, well, there you go. That's how we're going to get our interview if he gets the win here tonight. We'll be keeping an eye on him. How about some of your biggest movers right now? Matt Martin is up 11 from where he started. Brian Kaiser in 12th. Mark Jenkins up 11. Ambrose Keeble up 13. And sure enough, it looks like Ambrose Keeble is your biggest mover, the fan favorite for Blind Squirrel Racing. Now we're seeing that third lane. They're starting to try to get some momentum going. We got a couple guys, couple takers, if you will, jump to the outside. Looks like Ambrose Keeble is going to be the first of those takers. We got one rack, and Cody Nagels gets turned out back. This is going to bring out the caution. Second rack of the night. The 51 takes a pretty hard shot into the outside wall. And Cody Nagels is not going to be too happy about that one. Could not tell exactly what happened, but Thomas Parker is going to have some right front damage as well. Looks like Michael Iskandar says in the chat, can anyone join these races? If so, can I join? Absolutely. In fact, we got the FEG Discord in the description for you there below. Check it out. Let me know if it doesn't work. You get in here, it's money racing. So it is an entry fee if you want to get yourself in. But again, you don't have to race a certain schedule. Whenever you want to race one, you pay the entry fee, get yourself in here, and have a good shot to maybe win the race. Again, winner tonight going home with $300. Very good profit margin to say the least. Second, third, and fourth going to be going home. Pretty good amount too at $100. Hey, let's check out what happens here in this last caution. Starts with Cody Nagels. He gets turned here. And it's already a little bit of an awkward looking position here. Usually when you see this, the 44 is not necessarily on the bottom here, but we got to back this up a little bit further. Keep an eye as they work their way into 3. Just kind of a squeeze there. It almost looks like Cody gets squeezed. The 44 maybe working him up a little bit. It looked like just above him. I believe that might have been Aubrey Thompson. Let's take another look. Sure enough, it is. You see that actually, no, Cody maybe just coming down a little bit too much. The 48, or the 44 rather, was definitely coming up, that's for sure. But then it looked like Cody maybe coming down a little bit. I think he's expecting the 44 to run the bottom. And let's take one more let's take a shot from the chopper view of it actually, because I really want to figure out who kind of instigated this, if you will. More like a racing incident than anything else. Yeah, the 44 is I think I got to put that one more on the 44 actually from the chopper view. Cody was holding a pretty steady line, maybe ducking down just a little bit, but the 44 definitely came up more than Cody comes down. And once he gets turned back up in the traffic, the 51 gets involved. David Sheets looks like he has some contact as well, although I don't think he got any damage that was too significant. 51, though, on the other hand, of Thomas Parker, he did not catch the best break from that. And there's that shot into the outside wall. Almost got up in the air. Going to cost the 51 truck some time on pit road, to say the least. Let's take one more final look at it here from the wall cam. These guys come flying at you about 190 miles an hour. Here we go. Second caution here of the night. 21 laps to go currently, but we're going to have a lot less once we get restarted here. Going up front, though, your current leader is going to be Ken McCall Jr., John Mullahan second, Matt Martin still in third. Same place he restarted on the last go. Cody Reed now in fourth, Brian Kaiser fifth, William Rice sixth, Mark Jenkins seventh, Dustin Carruthers in eighth, Ron Morris Jr. ninth, and Ambrose Knievel rounds out your top 10. Oh my goodness. And it's happy hour for a couple of these guys. Ambrose Knievel, Christopher McCall having a little fun getting down the track. For a second there, confused me, but Ambrose giving a little bump. We got two 04s in the race here tonight. We'll see which one can finish better. And boy, I would love to pull Ambrose in for an interview here tonight. We're going to go ahead and hold off on that for now. Instead, head over to our announcements page and talk about where we're heading next year on Ghost Racing Network. Monday night, the Fast Track Sim Racing Cup Series. It's going to be the Nashville 200 under the lights of Nashville Superspeedway. You don't want to miss out on it. It's going to be another good one. before we can get to that, we got some business to attend here tonight. And then, of course, we noted it, but for Ron Morse Jr., Tuesday Night Thunder started back up. Jacob Emery and company did a heck of a job with the broadcast the last 2 weeks. Taking it back over here this week, hoping to put on a good show for those guys as they do for us up in the broadcast booth. And if you are just tuning in here tonight, we certainly appreciate you joining in. So John Mullihan and his teammate Ken McCall Jr., they got a good opportunity here to clog 2 out of those 3 lanes up. They'd like to get at least one more of their teammates up here to maybe finish that deal off, but just don't have any right now. David Sheets kind of half involved in that. You got to expect he might have came down, try to fix a little damage. Keep an eye on a couple of these guys, though. Brian Kaiser, he sits in the top 5 and 5th. Let's talk to him real quick, see what he's got. Hey, Brian, this is all set up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, one of the few Team 3 drivers remaining. Hey, you and your teammate Chad Ross, what do you guys think about going to get a 1-2 here tonight?
Listen, buddy, if we go 1-2, we'll take it.
Well, the thing I kind of wanted to bring you up here and ask you about is you're going to be starting kind of in that range. You're still inside the top 5, but with that no 3-wide rule the first couple laps, is that the time do you maybe think about trying to work your way to the top and get ready to maybe go for the lead 3 wide up top, or do you just kind of stick to the bottom here and see if the gaps kind of open up?
I will say that I feel like I have better luck when I'm hanging like a low line coming to the end, especially with the way that people are pushing now with this new package. So, and sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail, but that's at least our philosophy for right now. Chad gets up here, you know, if we're in the right position, we're not afraid to go 3 wide, even 4 wide here sometimes, because they're, you know, we got plenty of drivers here we're racing with week in and week out, and we know that they can handle it. So we'll see how things shake out here in these last 20 laps.
Well, you look like you're handling yourself just fine here tonight. We will see if we find you in the top 3 and back here in the booth by the end of this thing.
I'd love to talk to you again this week, pal, so hopefully that'll happen.
All right, sounds good. Hey, Brian Kaiser having a good run. One of your biggest movers, too, up 14 from where he started. Getting ready to go back green. Couple notes in the chat. Looks like Michael says, how do I find you on Discord? We have the FEG Discord and the Ghost Racing Network Discord in the description, so just check the link. You should be able to find it. If the link doesn't work when you press on it, let me know and I'll get it fixed. I can post one here in the chat in just a little bit. Avalon Cruther says, is it fun being in the booth? You better believe it is, because what we get to see from fields like this right here, 30 trucks, all a bunch of hungry sharks that want to get the big money. Back green at Talladega, 19 laps to go. 3 wide rule still is in play, but this time looks like the inside gets a much better restart, and they are already lined up. Looking 4 or 5 trucks stacked up on that inside. Now the outside starting to get things going. 19 to go before these guys get too crazy. How about a little crank it up here at Talladega? Here we go. Wrap it up for our Crank It Up segment here tonight. I hope everybody did enjoy. There's the 4-wide action we've been waiting on. How long can they make it work? It looks like Cody Reed got stuck on the outside. Big mix-up here. I don't think this was a natural 4-wide as much as it was kind of getting forced. And we are still 3, almost going 4. If these guys can't get it sorted out soon, we might be in some trouble. Daniel Everhart with assist from Sean Hill. They're back to 2 wide, and they're going to try to make their charge back to the front here. There's the 11 of Dylan Jones just behind them. They got the 21. Looks like the 04 of Christopher McCall is trying to make his way back up front as well. How about the 44? We were talking about him in last a little while ago. Boy, how about the turnaround for Andrew Clark? He is now trying to lead the outside line. Hesitated just a little bit too long. He's going to get one more shot at it. He's trying to take it. The bad news for him is Daniel Everhart's not going to cut him any break. You know Everhart's taking 3 wide the second he tries to make a move. And because of that, looks like the 03 up front, though, real quick. Man, these guys are really, really dicing around. I'm not sure what's going on, but that single file line looks really out of shape. Oh, we got one spinning in the back. That's Aubrey Thompson. Can he hold on? Now Matthew Baker's going to go around the 38, spins, slides back up the track. It's going to collect another one, and the caution is out. Wicked save here by a couple people. The 3 truck of Brock Westmoreland looked like he was heading for that inside wall in a hurry. Somehow keeps it from hitting it. Oh, my goodness. Third caution here of the night, falls with 16 laps to go. Let's take a look. This was the mix-up here that didn't bring the caution out. This happened during our Crank It Up segment. I want to go to this first because this, however, was the incident that caused that big stack-up that led to 4 wide. This is coming off of 4 with the 11. Not sure if he gets a little help up the track or washes up, then tries to come back down. But either way, 27 kind of gets on a bad spot in the corner. That's a no-no. Makes contact. They both slide down. Brian Kaiser with pretty good contact into the inside wall. And then here's a view of what the yellow flag's going to be for. Let's go to Aubrey Thompson. This is where this starts, I believe. Actually, there's a couple incidents here. A couple different incidents. First one's going to be Aubrey Thompson. The 38 just gets loose. That's really odd looking. You don't usually see this too much unless there was contact that I missed. We'll go to the TV follow view to get a better angle of it. Watch the 38 truck. Oh, a little checkup, actually. That's what it was. So the 89 had to try to get high and actually tagged the right rear. And when Trevor did that, that's what got Aubrey Thompson loose. Tried so hard to save it, was not quite able to do so. And then watch ahead here. Looks like the 44 of Andrew Clark. Does he clip the apron? Watch the 5 of Matthew Baker. Got to wonder if he did here. Does Baker maybe check up a little bit? The 38's already trying to hold on to it out back, just getting behind on the steering. But keep your eye on that blue and red 5 of Matthew Baker. He's going to get involved in this in some form. And yeah, a little bit of a checkup. The 28 doesn't really check up so much. Jeremy Paris gets into Matthew Baker. Baker does a heck of a job saving this here. And not too surprised, though, all things said. He knows how to get the job done. But we saw the 38 of Aubrey Thompson, on the other hand, continue to try to save it. Unfortunately, just not quite enough. Take a couple more looks at it here. Gets back on track. Ooh, that would be why. Couldn't quite hold on to it. Mark Vondell makes some more contact with the 38. Good news was it was in the back. I think Aubrey's going to be okay. He's got some damage to the back, but go get that fixed up, get back out here. And I don't even think you have to necessarily use a fast repair of it. Going back up front now. Looks like your leader is going to be Ken McCall Jr., John Mullahan second. There's Dustin Carruthers in third. Didn't get a chance to look at him during a couple of the segments here. Taking a look from the onboard. Well, there's the cockpit. How about a look from the roll bar? Rocking those bright green and dark gloves. Him and Danny Barnes kind of on similar paint schemes overall. Heath Job says go into Evelyn says go into Dustin's cabin. Heath Job says I believe he's in the KSR Discord. He is. Well, I am unfortunately not in the KSR Discord. And a lot of them usually can sneak an interview from quite a few of these guys. However, that is not one of my specialties because I'm not in it in that case. Hey, we're going to take our quick break. Well, our only break, but we're going to stay side by side so you don't miss a thing. Stick with us. Back live here at Talladega Superspeedway, getting ready for another restart here. We've had a few cautions. Going to be 13 laps to go this time, and I think that 3-wide rule is still going to be into effect here right off the get-go. But if we have another caution within 10 to go, we'll take that rule away, and that's just going to make the racing all the much more crazy at this point if it hasn't already been crazy enough. And we talked about he's a fan favorite. Let's see how Ambrose Kniebel's running here. We might be able to try to get him up for a quick word. Actually, you know what? I think we're going to go ahead and hold Ambrose off until if we get another caution. Right now, we're going to stick up front, keep an eye on everybody up front. William Rice having himself a pretty good run here in the top 10. I feel like he's in the cap per position. Let's see if we can get a quick word with him. Hey, William, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy? We'll give him one more try here. Hey, William, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, bud.
All right, hey, having a good run so far here tonight. Up 4 from where you started. Got yourself in the top 10. What's the game plan here for the rest of this race?
Just sit tight until the last 3 and cross my fingers and hope for a lane.
Well, I know you're saying maybe wait until the last 3 here, but we know that guys are going to be going 3 wide a lot sooner than that. If you see that third lane forming before you, do you take it or do you maybe sit around for a little bit longer?
I'm gonna have to think about my position at the point. I'll take 3 when I have to. I'll go anywhere. So it all depends on what's going on at the time. When a 3-wide joins forms, I'll make a decision.
Well, you've been working good so far here tonight. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, buddy.
William Rice, how about it? We try to get everybody that we can an interview on here. Some of the guys that maybe we don't talk to too much. William Rice, great guy. Love to see him get a win here tonight. We'll see what he can do as the pace car takes the hard left turn. Heath Job says, I painted the 10. Go figure. That would be why it looks as good as it does. Evelyn says, can you hear them talking to each other? I cannot. Can usually predict certain things, though. Anyway, here we go. Green flag back in the air. Going to be 12 laps to go. Big momentum on the start. John Mullihan, though, did not get the best restart. That's going to open the door for Ken McCall Jr. to get clear of his teammate. You better believe he's trying to hold Daniel Eberhardt back here, but if they get clear by 2 trucks, watch for Eberhardt in the 90 to jump low. And yeah, he's pushing Ken McCall Jr. with everything he's got right now. He knows how crucial it could be if they could both get clear, but Ken is trying to help his teammate up. And this is the one thing that 3-wide rule really hinders drivers, is when you have circumstances like this. I can promise you Eberhardt probably would have went 3 wide there knowing Ken wasn't going to jump down. However, he can't right now. Otherwise, he'd be black flagged. Now he does get clear, though. It's going to jump to the bottom. Oh, looks like the 31 was forced a little bit high there. That's going to put Sean Hill through the middle. Mark Jenkins going to be going all the way to the back right now unless somebody cuts him a break. It'll be interesting to see if there's any penalties surrounding this here. We'll have to find out. And Jenkins continues to fall here as we come to what's going to be 11 laps to go. So you got John Mullihan leading the way on the inside. It's going to be Ken McCall Jr. on the outside. Sean Hill, Daniel Eberhardt in row 2. Keep an eye on the 21. That's William Rice. He said he'll go up if he needs to, but he's going to try to stay patient as long as possible. There is the 10. The bright 10 truck, if you will, of Dustin Carruthers. He is trying to make his way to the front. If he can get clear of the outside line, I think he's got to move in store. Again, only top 4, though, getting paid out here tonight. Everybody's got to start making their way to the front, as Sean Hill would now have that 4th and final position. And you can kind of see a little bit towards the front. There's a little 3-truck tandem pushing going on. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. So far here tonight, it's been working pretty well. Dustin Carruthers is really, really sticking it to the back bumper of Daniel Eberhardt. He almost got him a little more offset than he would have liked to right there. Looks like it's going to work out this time. No harm, no foul as they come to 10 laps to go. Didn't really have a chance to look at the speeds here tonight, but we're going to get a good look at them now as, well, whatever was light pushing earlier has now become very aggressive, shoving. Looks like Matthew Baker along with the 1 truck, Ron Morse Jr. They're thinking about making it 3 wide up top. Ron Morse Jr. is trying to get back down to the middle. Unfortunately, it looks like he is going to get forced out by, I believe, the 89. So here we go. We're ready to get back to the 3 wide racing. And as these guys work their way down into turn 3, up in the 190s. Third lane, it's going to take them probably about half a lap or so. We'll see how many guys decide to hop up. And actually, just as you think they're getting going, just about everybody bails. David Sheets gets to the back bumper of his teammate Ron Morse Jr., but they don't have any speed left to make anything happen. Meanwhile, John Mullihan on the bottom, still leading the way. Him and Ken McCall Jr. have 2 of those 3 lanes clogged up. Here comes Matthew Baker, though. Now he is going to jump to the outside. And if we can make it to the white flag, this race would be official. Matthew Baker, here it is, William Rice. I was wondering if he was going to throw the block. He did, and he timed it absolutely perfectly. Now he's got to hold on for all he's got. Come on, William, hold it, son. You got this thing. Run it on the outside. Now Daniel Eberhardt jumps back up to the middle. Side by side. These guys trying not to make any contact door to door. And there was almost some contact there between. It looked like the 10 truck almost got into Ken McCall Jr. or Sean Hill in the 90 of Daniel Eberhardt. He got a little loose. William Rice with that perfectly timed move as of right now has my vote for the move of the race. Matthew Baker giving him a big shove. If the 21 truck can get clear, he would have the option to drop down to the bottom or the middle if he wants. And the pack is screaming at you through the tribal at about 195. Daniel Eberhardt trying to save it. He might get turned back in front of the pack. 5 wide. Oh my goodness. Wow, did they pick the right place to do that? Still trying to get it sorted out. We got one off further back. I believe that's Mark Jenkins. He's coming back up. Can he save it? Still coming up. Oh my goodness. Yellow flag is out. Oh, they couldn't all save. We got a big wreck. We got one upside down back here. Oh my goodness. And it's the 5 of Matthew Baker. Goes for a tumble off turn 2. Wow. I need to catch my breath after that. That was... You know, we see new things here on the broadcast. It's been a little while since I've seen what I just saw right there. 5 wide, even if it was just for a split second. My goodness. Let's go back. We got to take a look at a couple things here. But in fact, we got to back this up to where this is all going to start, and then we'll find the culprit of what causes this big wreck. Get back here in the tribal here. Daniel Eberhardt, not sure if he got pushed up and then turned. He almost saved it. Was doing a heck of a job trying to hang on to it. Let's go to the TV follow view. Watch the 90 truck here. We're going to back this up. Ken McCall Jr. on his bumper. See the 3's trying to give him a good shot. Ooh, just maybe slightly. Doesn't really hook him. Just kind of slides along that bumper. That gets the 90 kind of half turn. Man, that was a heck of a save. William Rice, too, for checking up. And then here we go. Here's the contact. Look at this. 5 wide. Dylan Jones, Sean Hill, Matthew Baker, William Rice, and Daniel Eberhardt in the tribal. Didn't even know if it was possible. These guys proven now that it certainly was. And now we're going to go up to Matthew Baker as he's going to get what looks like, at least from what we've seen so far, the worst of this. They had saved it. We saw more chaos out back. 3 wide up here. Ooh, the 89, the 11 looks like get together. Looks like maybe Dylan Jones wash it up. Nope, the 89 kind of comes down. Not sure if there was some netcode between them or what. Once they get locked together up into the 77 of Sean Hill, he tags the outside wall. There's the big hit for Matthew Baker. He's going to go for a pretty wild tumble here. And we did have some more people sliding into this one as well. Christopher McCall, Dylan Jones with another big hit. Let's take a couple more views of it. Cody Nagels looks like he was sliding down on the apron, the 28. Dylan Jones took a couple big shots there. Ambrose Knievel did a pretty good job checking up. I think he might have missed it. Let's go right on board here with Matthew Baker. First truck we've seen flip here tonight, and in a little while for that matter. Just kind of ramps up onto the safer barrier and then gets pinned in between the 89 truck. Slides on his roof before finally going to flip back over here just as he's about down into the infield grass. But one final look from the wall cam. Matthew Baker might be sliding right along the camera in this view. Sure enough, he does. Almost takes out our camera. Oh my goodness. And you know, just hard racing overall from a lot of these guys. Crazy things are going to happen, but either way, 6 laps to go here with the 4th caution currently being served. Gonna probably restart with 4, maybe 3 go, depending on if we get the 1 to go this time. John Mullahan still leads the way, but now Dustin Carruthers, he is up to 2nd. Ken McCall Jr. in 3rd. Alejandro Matis Diaca sits in 4th, and we got Chad Ross rounding out your top 5, up 20 positions from where he started. William Rice hanging around. He sits in 6th. Daniel Eberhardt in 7th. Jeremy Paris 8th. Andrew Clark 9th. And Matt Martin rounding out your top 10. Apologize in the chat. I got a little too excited there. I don't think my brain could actually comprehend some of the things these guys were doing there. Just the fact that we went 5 wide still amazes me, and that everybody held on. You would have thought that's where the wreck would have happened, but not the case. Hey, let's get it. See if we get an interview here from Ambrose. It's about 11:18. I think it's about the best time if we're going to have one. Hey, Ambrose, how's it going? This is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, bud.
All right, hey, well, so far tonight, it's been a pretty crazy race. Looked like you did a pretty good job overall, though, missing that last wreck. You think you got enough time and track position to make it back to the front?
I think so. I'm praying to these Miller Lights, you know, and I'm thankful for my Chevy Silverado and these Marlboro cigarettes. I appreciate the Green Ghost and the Muffin Man.
All right, well, hey, I got one more question here. I know we're getting ready to go back green here, but Ambrose, if you win this thing, what's going to be the victory lane celebration here tonight?
Oh, big burnout and probably shotgun and a beer.
All right, sounds good. Hey, hopefully we're interviewing you at the end. You're almost back inside the top 10. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
You can't script it. The best interviews you'll get all week. That man comes in week in, week out, happy hour or not, somehow gives us the best interview that we can get from any driver in the field. And he does have a good shot at it here. Anybody in the top 10 has a great shot at it. But Ambrose Kniebel just outside the top 10 will see what he can do. Now, Dustin Carruthers, you know, been watching him here in quite a few money races. I think tonight this is his best chance he's had in a while. Going to be starting on the front row with what is going to be 4 laps to go. Again, if we can make 3 laps under green, we will finish this thing under green if we take that white flag, of course. But if not, we get a yellow, rack them up. We got unlimited green-white checkers. So, of course, we are going to finish this thing under green. But John Mullihan has been one of the most dominant trucks here tonight. A little uncharacteristic. A lot of times, not in the case of they don't know how to get up and lead, but John Mullihan, along with a lot of the McCall Motorsports group, seemed like for a little while there we saw the strategy. They kind of like to hang back. You get these big fields like this, you know there's going to be quite a few wrecks. Not the case here tonight, going from the drop of the green right from the start. And it's been working out nicely. And Ken McCall Jr., as good of a teammate and veteran as he is, I think at this point, unless something crazy happens, he is telling Mullihan, you hold that wheel as straight as you can. I'm going to be pushing you as hard as I can to the finish. Logan T. So actually looks like we got Baker's mom says, shoot. Robert Miller, wild ride for Baker. Indeed. Logan T, I shared this live with my buddy and he subscribed. Appreciate it, Logan. Hey, any sub is a good sub for us and we appreciate anybody out here. Ryan Allen says, I want Ambrose to win now. What a legend. Absolutely. Anybody that doesn't know Ambrose, if you're looking for a guy to root for here tonight, keep an eye on that white and red 04 machine. Looks like he is going to be about 7 trucks back on the inside line. All right, here we go. There very well could be the final restart this time. Mullihan looking to get another good restart. Dustin Carruthers, if he gets clear, does he take it? He might get one shot at it. Green flags in the air. 4 laps to go here at Talladega. John Mullihan with a pretty good start. Man, they're really stacking up, though. Looks like William Rice is trying to push Ken McCall Jr., that 3-truck tandem, if you will. The quicker they get locked up, the faster they're going to go, and we are going to see 3 wide up on the top line. Thomas Parker in the 51. Ooh, man, almost thinking about 4 wide. We got wrecking out back here. Big rack. Cody Nagle's involved in this one. His teammate's going to get in as well. Sean Hill, no caution just yet. Now the caution flies as we got a couple sliding to the inside wall here. And the one, Ron Morris Jr. takes a hit into the inside safer barrier. Cody Nagle's back, rolling 5th caution of the night, and this is going to send us into overtime. Let's go back and take a look. This one was more towards the back. Sometimes you see this guy's just getting really antsy. You put some of the big hitters in the back. They know we don't have a lot of time left. They're going for it. And I could not tell initially who's going to start this or where necessarily. Of course, we know it was towards the back. Cody Nagle's, ooh, Ron Morris Jr. Does Ron Morris maybe make a move? Oh, no, here's what's going to happen. Cody's going to try to jump up. Yeah, just not clear. Hate to say it, Cody, very rare mistake, but yeah, Cody was not clear, and he tried to force it. Ron Morris Jr. was there. Ron probably not letting up, and he shouldn't really have to at this point in the race. And after that, the rest is history. Cody back up into his teammate. Matthew Baker is going to slide in. Not sure how bad his damage is, but he does get involved, and then Ron Morris Jr. back down into the inside wall. Man, let's go back, take a couple more views of this. You know, it's a hard call, right? I mean, if you're Cody Nagles, that might be your winning move right there in the sense of if you don't go now, you're maybe trapped back there. But, you know, right here, he's not clear. And, whoa, from that view, let me reword my words here a little bit on it. I still think it's kind of what we think in the sense of a late block but it doesn't look so much on the second half as he forced it up there. I think he's going to push Ron up the track, so he's not clear here. Yep, Ron tries to go 3 wide here, but then he gets a tap from Sean Hill. So Cody didn't go for a second block. After that first block didn't work and Ron pulled high, Cody did hold that line there. The problem was Sean Hill kind of running to the back of Ron Morris Jr. and that little stack up eventually is just going to turn the one back down in to the right rear of Cody, and it's on from there. So back live up front, some of the back markers in the sense of after that caution are going to pit, including all 3 of those NBG Motorsports teammates who have not had the best night, by the way. Little out of characteristic. We're used to seeing them lead their whole race, but it's not been the case so far here tonight. So John Mullahan, Dustin Carruthers, no real change there. Actually, a little bit. Looks like Ken McCall Jr. is actually going to steal second. That moves Dustin back to third. Chad Ross going to be sitting fourth. There's the other Team 3 driver. We saw Brian Kaiser up here earlier, but the captain back up here trying to get himself a win, up 20 from where he started. William Rice rounds out your top 5. Alejandro in 6. It's going to be Daniel Everhart and Andrew Clark making up row 4, and Jeremy Paris and Cody Reed going to be making up row 5 here. Overtime rules pretty similar to the normal race rules in the sense of if we take the white flag, this thing's going to be over. It is going to be a 2-lap shootout. Of course, all races are going to be reviewed, and for anybody that doesn't know, it's a little interesting here. We got a payout rule that's been in effect for a while, and I've liked it here over. I've always been a fan of this rule in the FEG-PC Money Racing Series. If somebody intentionally causes a wreck on the last lap, let's say you're pushing a guy and you spin that guy out and it's deemed that you caused that wreck, you're going to have to split 50% of whatever you win with the guy you wrecked. Certainly helps people keep these things clean towards the end. Looks like Bryce is in the chat. Owner of Ghost Racing Network says, how many comments do y'all need? Evelyn Carruthers says, already we just got out. Friday night, having a good time. I hope everybody is enjoying it. 25 viewers, not too bad. Almost matching the amount of people we got here in the field. Of course, started with 30. And Ambrose Kniebel moved up a couple more positions, up 16 now from where he started, sitting in that 11th position. Almost inside the top 10. Maybe needs another caution, maybe not. Just depends on how things are going to pan out. Andrew Clark, certainly one of my votes for the drive of the night here, up 20 from where he started. And he doesn't have any teammates here. He's making things work all by himself. And the fact of even running with a chance up here in the top 10 this late and going without a teammate means you're doing a heck of a job doing the right moves. And we saw him try to make moves early. Didn't really have any friends. Didn't have a lot of people going with him. But he kept going at it. And this is the best way to make some friends, by the way. If you don't have any teammates, the best way to try to make some is to get out here and get aggressive, make those moves. Robert Miller still rooting on McCall Motorsports. Matthew Lee says, how's John leading? Well, we're wondering where you are at, Matt. But used to seeing you in here, Matt. But hey, either way, John Mullahan, the reason he's leading is because he's been so dominant here tonight. Nonetheless, I'm sure you two would be going at it head-to-head right now. So with the 2 teammates, though, now starting side by side, it's going to be a little interesting here. If you're Ken McCall Jr. and you get clear, do you go down? That's kind of the safe route, or do you play the little more risky, stay up top? Chad Ross and Ken, both veterans of this league. You got to think maybe they help each other out here a little bit, but at the end of the day, first place pays triple what second through fourth pay. So, I mean, I think tonight, unless you are direct teammates and you're planning on splitting the winnings, I think you got to go for the win yourself. And in this case, that might mean Chad Ross taking it 3 wide as soon as he can. That first lap was always my favorite time to do it because that white flag lap just seems like everything kind of gets gridlocked. And then if there's a big wreck, you better be ready to put the right foot down a little bit harder and hope that you can drive through a Days of Thunder style, because we will not be having a caution. Going back here a little bit. Sean Hill, of course, we talked about, was your winner last night in the PGR Intimidator Super Speedway Series. He had an up and down night. Unfortunately, finds himself sitting last right now in 30th position with damage to a couple corners of that truck. Matthew Baker, Cody Nagels, not sure what those trucks have left or if they have enough to get to the front. But we had gotten the one-to-go signal that last time, and as we're working our way out of turn 4, getting ready for overtime number 1, I believe it is here. I believe FEG might have some racing tomorrow night. Forgot to check it before we got things set up. Always busy getting these broadcasts set up, but we certainly enjoy doing them. And these big fields make it all the much more fun to commentate. Payouts are going to be what they were prescribed as here tonight. 300 for first, 100 for second, 100 for third, and 100 for fourth. Anything else, you're going home empty-handed. 35 plus laps because we're into overtime. Green flag back in the air here at Talladega. 2 laps to go. Not a great restart. Further out back, Andrew Clark going to try to jump up in front of the 11 truck. It looks like was the one who didn't get the best restart. And they are already getting 3 wide. Sure enough, the 44 is going to try to make it happen. Watch for Daniel Eberhardt in the 90. If he sees some momentum from that third lane get going, he is going to waste no time jumping up top. And there goes John Mullihan. Does jump in front of his teammate. Interesting move here. He must feel confident about it. Daniel Eberhardt's going to get turned back down into the pack. They slide off the track, but now they're going to wreck on the track. Caution's definitely going to come out for this one. Nothing yet. We stay green. Oh my goodness, it is a mess here on the backstretch. Surely the caution's got to fly here sooner or later, but it doesn't. Still stay green here. Can we make it to the white without the caution being drawn, whatever? Off of turn 4, John Mullihan's got it, starting to single file out a little bit. Ken McCall Jr., his teammate's going to try to side draft the 10 truck. Trial to go here. Can we make this thing official? Sure enough, we're going to. White flag is in the air one more time around Talladega. Mullihan to the lead. Here comes a move from Carruthers. He wants to win this thing. The 10 truck to the outside. Ken McCall Jr., big wreck out back. The 21 up into the 3. He flies into the catch fence. It is going to be a 7-truck breakaway to try to decide this thing. The 10 truck on the outside, Dustin Carruthers, he has no help. John Mullihan to the inside. What can the 25 Cody Reed do? He's going to get pushed off the track. Going to have to force his way back on somehow. Now we're going to see 3 wide. Jeff Merck, Mark Fondell up top. Into turn 3 for the final time. Mullihan still has the lead, but it's only 2 trucks on the bottom. 3 trucks down the middle as Carruthers is trying to get some position. He almost gets turned by the 44. And now there's another big wreck. The 24 is involved in this one. Now it's going to come down to 3 trucks. John Mullihan still leading the way. He has got Cody Reed behind him. Do we see one more move coming down to the tribal? And can Andrew Clark have anything to say about it? 25 dips low, and he's going to go below the tribal here. Mullihan's going to give him a little room. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Cody Reed takes it at the line, but I don't know if it's going to count. He had to go below the yellow to get it. If he was forced down there, it's valid. However, if he went down there on his own, I'm not sure. But hey, we're going to stand for what it is at the moment as Cody Reed getting the job done. First win here, I believe, in any of the FEG racing. Congratulations to the driver out of Middletown, Ohio. Fun call towards the end. Oh my goodness. Cody Reed. Let's go back and take a look. This last lap, talk about chaotic. One way to put it. In fact, we're going to have to break down a couple things. So while Cody gets around here and gets ready to burn this thing down, let's go back to where all these issues are going to start here. The first incident we saw was with Daniel Eberhardt. Couldn't tell initially what had happened. Speed it up. It's going to happen here on the back straightaway. Surprisingly, rather, did not draw the caution. Was definitely surprised about it. Watch here off of turn 2. Ooh. And that's going to be double trouble for Cody Reed. You know, again, thinking if he didn't get forced down, which it didn't look like it, he may not be getting the win, but also, even if he was going to get a win to pay out here, actually, ooh, no, I take that back. That's looked like Eberhard actually trying to follow that run up. He saw Cody Reed had a big run, and I think he's just a little bit late on it here. Cody Reed trying to get to his outside. Some contact occurs. 90 slams the inside wall. That just about totals that truck. But they were still wrecking at this point, up on the track, rather. No caution there. They're going to wreck again. There's the 89 and Brian Kaiser getting involved. Still more wrecking going on at this point. Then up front here, coming to the white flag. Going to get ready to have yet another wreck here. But this was once we took the white flag. We'll try to keep an eye on everything that goes on here. Got pretty wild for sure. So here we go. White flag's in the air. Dustin Carruthers, he timed it really good here. I think he does a heck of a job. Ken McCall Jr. was looking to go with him here, looking for the push. And, oh man, that's a tough break for William Rice as well. Looks like, I'm not sure if he got tapped that line here or what the deal was. The stack up, Jeff Merck maybe just sends him a little bit to the inside. That's what it looks like there. He might have had to check up for John Mullihan, and Jeff Merck just not really anything he could do. Everybody's full heavy foot on the last lap, and then once he comes back up, gets turned by the 60, absolutely destroys the 03 truck. Ken McCall Jr. with a crazy ride. And then the big wreck's on from there. Ambrose Kniebel gets in at the 11. Cody Nagels, he's trying to slide through. And we're not done wrecking just yet. This thing is not over. Cody Reed here goes below the yellow, but that looked like maybe he got forced up a little bit. He's going to force his way right back on the track. Gets to John Mullihan's bumper, and at this point, that third lane was starting to get some momentum going. Mark Vondell, Jeff Merck, going to see a little blocking going on. Things are going to start to get a little sloppy. 23 gets a little out of shape. Dustin Carruthers there, and when the 23 comes back up, they get hooked together back up the track. The 24 gets collected as well. Jeff Mark slides in it, and somehow Andrew Clark just narrowly splits it. He stays on the bottom, and this is where things are going to get a little exciting, a little crazy here. Keep a close eye. Does John Mullihan force him low here? Didn't think he did, but he might have. I don't think he does. We'll have to see what happens. I don't think he does in that case. It looks like Cody maybe tried to get a little too egregious on that jump down to the bottom, but at the end of the day, how about the finish from these two? Whatever the call is, close call, and the end of the race has it scored as 2/100th of a second. The margin of victory. Let's take one more view of this here, and we'll see if we can get any word on who is your official winner. Not sure if we'll be able to right now. So you'll see here, I thought at this point he was going to go high, but actually I think John Mullihan does a great job here. He kind of keeps it like, kind of baiting him to go low. It's easier to block low than it is high. But the 25, he just starts extra low. We'll have to see how the panel decides to rule about this. And then Mullihan gives him plenty of room to come back up, which Cody Reed does do. But I think it's just going to be too little too late. And then Andrew Clark just could not quite get the run coming to the line there that he would have needed to have a chance. But at the end of the day, heck of a run going frame by frame here if we can. And it looks like John Mullihan is being shown as your winner. And that would make me think that the 25 of Cody Reed. Oh, never mind. It's showing Cody Reed now. But again, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be scored as John Mullihan. Let's go check it out. We're going to go get interviews. We got a lot more when we come back. Stick with us.
Thank you, Green Ghost. And
All right, back live here. We got a little group here in the booth. You just heard from Ambrose Knievel there giving us a shout out. But hey, back live at Talladega Superspeedway. We're going to start with your third place finisher, but the news is that unofficially your winner is going to be John Mullihan. We do expect that Cody Reed will unfortunately be getting DQ'd as he did go below the yellow line there towards the end. So starting with third place finisher Matthew Baker, who initially looked like he was going to finish fourth, sneaks into the podium. Baker, you got a copy?
I got a copy.
Well, used to seeing you here on Thursdays up here commentating with me, but this race was wild. There at the end, how did you find your way all the way back from the back to the front to get home in third place?
Well, there was about 5 separate wrecks that happened. Started 28th on that restart, I think, and drove through all the last parts of the wreck. We were doing really well. MBG was fighting hard with McCullough the whole race. Track position was key, but we thought that the green light checkered fuel was going to be an issue, and we weren't going to be able to save enough whenever it came to right at the end there. So we gave up that track position. It kind of paid for us for our team, but glad that I could get through the chaos at the end.
Absolutely. Well, hey, a great finish here tonight. NBG Motorsports, on the other hand, seemed like a kind of a struggle for the team tonight. Was there any part of that, or is that just the nature of the beast here sometimes?
No, our communication was fine. There was a couple mistakes that we made in the middle lane that kind of cost us some track position, and we weren't able to recover from it because the wrecks started to happen around us. That 4 wide move that we had going into the tri-oval was looking promising, but then Eberhardt got all out of sorts, and William Rice was trying to avoid it, got on my door. I think we were 5 wide, but that was a ton of fun racing, really good up front. Hate that it ended that way, and that Cody is going to get DQ'd for that, but the rules are pretty clear. You can't go below the yellow line.
Well, congrats on the 3rd place finish here tonight. Before we let you go, though, is there anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, just thanks to MBG Motorsports, Baker & Son Construction, Warriors Wraps, Coasting Thunder. Thanks to family watching back at home. Thanks to you for putting on the broadcast. I love broadcasting on Thursdays, and glad I get to be in a race. Talk to you again, and congrats to all the top 3 there.
All right, sounds good. Matthew Baker, if we don't see you before then, we'll see you next Thursday.
See you, bud.
All right, that's going to bring in our 2nd place finisher. I would say career best run here probably tonight for Andrew Clark. Andrew, you got a copy?
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, man, you were flying, bobbing, and weaving there at the end. You missed that last big wreck by absolute inches. What were you thinking that entire last lap?
Yeah, everything was telling me to lift, but I knew the white flag had came out, so I was just going to keep it moving. Whatever, let the chips lie,
Well, I want to ask you about the fact that early in this race, we saw you making a lot of aggressive moves, and it just didn't look like anybody was going for you. But how did trying to get to the front so early on help you at the end of this race?
I just kind of learned who was willing to make some moves and who wasn't. This is my 2nd race on the service, so I haven't really made much friends except the ones I made tonight, Squirrel Racing. And they were, kind of telling me when to pop out. We would have had a really, I think 2 or 3 of us would have cashed if we could have got that outside lane running before that caution came out, the 2nd to last one.
All right. Well, hey, congrats on the 2nd place finish here tonight. Before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank or shout out back home?
Yeah, just shout out my dad. Belated Happy Father's Day.
All right. Anybody else?
Nah, that's it. Me.
Hey, I like the confidence. I'm sure we'll be seeing you here up again. Hey, congrats one more time here from Ghost Racing Network.
All right. Thanks, guys.
And I'll tell you what, it always kind of puts me in a baffle. Whenever we try to get interviews and certain things, I usually have a general answer that I kind of expect from guys, but threw me off guard there. Couldn't think of the second question for him, but looks like we're not going to be able to get John Mullihan in here, at least not seeing him. We tried to bring him in, but nowhere to be found. So on that note, how about we go over your results now? What I'm seeing here, first of all, in the chat, got to respectfully ask Bear Palm, can you go ahead and maybe settle down a little bit? If you want to trash talk about the actual race, take it in the Discord server. Out here we're watching. It's not my fault up here in the broadcast booth that the way the race ended. But either way, for now, we're going to call it unofficial. Cody Reed could be your winner, but unofficial, it's looking like John Mullihan got first. 2nd is going to be Andrew Clark. Matthew Baker 3rd, Aubrey Thompson 4th, Jeremy Parrish 5th, Jeff Merck in 6th, Sean Hill 7th. It's going to be Mitchell Davis in 8th. Chad Ross finishes 9th. How about Matt Martin in 11th? 12th place is going to be Christopher McCall. 13th, Ron Morris Jr., Dylan Jones in 14th, Mark Bondell 15th, Trevor in 16th. It's going to be Joey Allen in 18th. Moving right on down the line into 19th, it's going to be Brock Westmoreland. William Rice finishes in 19th. Ken McCall Jr. finishes 20th. David Sheets 21st. Ambrose Knievel 22nd. Mark Jenkins 23rd. Thomas Parker 24th. Cody Nagels in 25th. Alejandro Montes de Oca finishes in 26th. Daniel Eberhardt 27th. Dustin Carruthers in 28th. 29th, Brian Kaiser, and I believe the last place finisher tonight is going to go ahead and be Cody Reed. But again, unofficial. If things change, we'll certainly know about him in the Discord. I do appreciate everybody that tuned in here tonight. Crazy race, great finish, and John Mullihan looks like he's going to get the job done here tonight at Talladega. Until next time.